Man, Serie A clash is back here on the watch, as well as we have got the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea, and this Saturday it is all hot up over here because we have got the Bundesliga clash, the Premier League clash, the Serie A clash, and late in the night it is the La Liga clash going on simultaneously. After the Champions League, the domestic league is back. But what to watch over here, because we will be having the watch along of Napoli and Juventus. Juventus having the likes of Randall Colomwani from PSG, Thiago Motta's man. He has got it so good. And yes, in just 3 minutes of the gameplay over here, Napoli and Juventus, it is Yildiz getting some shot off target from Napoli, and as well as we are having Manchester City and Chelsea, the Premier League clash of this weekend. Pep Guardiola struggling, man, against Enzo Maresca's not in good character, man, on the watch. What it is going to be, what is the result, because it is there high up on the chat which has been pinned, that whether the Blues, I mean the Chelsea and the old lady, that is the Juventus, are going to get the big wins tonight in the Serie A or the Premier League, or it is the citizens Manchester City, the lighter Blues, and the Kikurali, the men from Napoli under Antonio Conte, are they going to get? Because just have a look in the lineup where Napoli are facing the likes of Juventus. I mean, Juventus has got Colomoni just into the transfers, and in the first debut match, in the first game, Colomani has been picked up in the first lineup, because in the table of the Serie A, if you be precise, Napoli, Antonio Conte, man, 51 points, 2 games played more than Inter Milan. If we have just a watch of this, it will look good in the Serie A. Napoli 51 points, so high up on the table, but Inter 2 games yet to play, 47 points, 4 points behind Napoli. Not much, because 2 games is there in hand for Inter Milan. Simone Inzaghi's man, they are definitely doing too good. Atlanta today getting a win against Como at the 3rd spot. Juventus have gained some momentum, but look at this, 22 games played, 14 draws, not a single loss for Thiago Motta's man, and he is bringing in the likes of Colomwani into the squad, and yes, picking him into the first lineup. This is something big. This is something big, because Juventus hasn't lost a single game in the Serie A. They have lost in the Supercoppa, they have lost in the Champions League, but in the Serie A they haven't yet lost. And Napoli has conceded 14 goals, whereas Juventus is the second least with 17 goals conceded. Napoli, on the other hand, have scored 35, whereas Juventus has scored 34 games. But Inter Milan, look at that, they have scored those 51 goals and conceded 18. That is the point which Simone Inzaghi's men are going to take that lead over Antonio Conte's Napoli. The Stadio Maradona Armando Stadium, Napoli is hosting Juventus, and the old lady has traveled to the Azzurri's Napoli to face this. This is the lineup which Juventus is having, that from Thiago Motta's Yildiz, that man, he's so good in creativity, Koopmanias, as well as Gonzalez, and Colomani is there. And Juventus hasn't picked up the likes of Vlahovic into the squad. Oh my god, neither Timothy Wade nor Vlahovic is there. It is the likes of new Colomani into the squad. That is what Juventus and Napoli are doing it. And to talk about this game, Juventus has already got that one shot from the likes of Ildiz. That player Ildiz from Juventus, I'm a big fan of him and he does his job so good. That was the lineup from Napoli and Juventus. And yes, you can give your votes on the chat section, which has been pinned, that the Blues and the old lady, are they going to get those wins, or the Citizens and the Cucurelli, are they going to get those wins, or the match is going to be a draw, or the match is abundant? Yes, the watch links are also there. If you are not ready to shell out your bucks from your pocket and you are from the continent, then you can have a watch on the GXR World website. The Serie A clash going on between Napoli and Juventus, and yes, Manchester City and Chelsea. If we have a look of their lineups, oh my god, Guardiola is the man speaking. The two blue rivals facing each other at the Etihad. I mean, Manchester City getting those upsets in the Champions League fixtures where they lost tooth with that comeback from PSG, and Colomoni after that game has traveled to Juventus. What a coincidence this is happening. What a coincidence. And a well rested Chelsea team. I mean, the Stamford Bridge, they have got those rest well. They have traveled north to face Manchester City, who are just reeling from a midweek collapse in the Champions League. Oh my god. Chelsea has got those wins in their previous fixtures against the Wolves. They have got a draw against Bournemouth, but today Bournemouth getting those wins, 5 goals against Nottingham Forest. Oh my god, Premier League has taken its toll, and Arsenal getting those wins today has clinched to the second spot. Nottingham Forest, they have dropped those points. And to talk about Nottingham Forest, I mean, their manager, Nuno Espirito Santo, he has done his job so good, but today against Bournemouth, they lacked it. 5 goals defeat. That is humiliation at the Vitality Stadium, the home of Bournemouth. But our aspect on this is the watch of Chelsea and Manchester City from the Premier League. And yes, Liverpool getting that 4 goals against Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town is under relegation points, so down in the table. But Liverpool, their characters are showing too good in the second half of the season. They are really doing it. My expectations from Liverpool for the past 25 years, watching them time and again, they play in the first half so good of the season. But in the second half of the season, there are some sort of collapses which happens. But this season, it is not happening with Liverpool. And yes, Alfred fans will be just rolling it. We had the watch along in the previous stream. You can just watch those streams, the different playlist for the Premier League, the Serie A, the La Liga, the Bundesliga, the Indian Super League, the Champions League, all the matches as well as all the playlists are there in a different section for the different leagues across the globe. You can check out over there. But for now, we are having the watch along of Napoli and Juventus. The watch links are there on the social media description. You can watch it from there as well. Yeah, we will have the watch along of Napoli and Juventus, and yes, Chelsea and Manchester City is our prime watch to have, because this season it is my first time watching Chelsea on the watch along. What are the Blues going to do with the Citizens? Will that be Pep Guardiola's another defeat coming on, because Chelsea has got those rest, whereas the Citizens, I mean, after those defeats in the Champions League, will be just reeling behind. They would just need some sort of good moments coming in. On the screen, it is the likes of Napoli doing it good. And yes, to talk about Napoli in the Serie A, to talk about their player, Napoli has really got some sort of renovations from their player Romelu Lukaku, who has got 8 goals. Oh my god. Romelu Lukaku, the blue man, from the likes of Roma, traveling to Chelsea, traveling to so many clubs, has got under Antonio Conte the get together of these two men, Antonio Conte and Lukaku, in the Serie A, has yielded Lukaku as the another new striker upcoming. He has got 8 goals. McTominay from Manchester United has got 5 goals, as well as the likes of Kvaratskhelia, who has got that transfer to PSG. Oh my god, Kvaratskhelia has got those 5 goals as well as those 3 assists, but he has been transferred to Paris Saint-Germain. Oh my god, big conversion going on. Juventus getting those deals. And yes, on the other hand, PSG getting those deals from Napoli. Antonio Conte, is he so sure that Simone Inzaghi's men are going to get big in against him? That is something big. That is something a Kvaratskhelia as well as the likes of Florentino and Zerbin from Napoli are out. And the players who are in is that of Philip Billing and Luis Hassa. That was way back. Conte getting those transfers, Napoli are going to get those transfers. They are getting their pockets backed up with those transfers, which they will definitely need. But what is that going on? What is that going on? Up on. Is the old lady going to get those upsets against the Cuculeri? The Azuris, Napoli. What is that going to happen? Or is it the citizens going to cause those upsets against Chelsea, or Chelsea are going to get it big at the Etihad? Big watch along for the Saturday nights. We are over here onto the stream, and I will just put this lineup off from my screen. We had discussed all the lineups. Still 10 minutes to go on the watch. Chelsea and Manchester City. We will have the watch of Juventus and Napoli for the next 10 minutes, and then we will switch to the watch of Manchester City and the likes of Chelsea. That is Anguissa inside the box, no denied. Napoli are in some sort of counters making for it. Man, oh my god, look at that from Napoli. Look at that from Napoli. Time and again, they are getting critical. They are getting critical. Meret and Di Gregorio has to prove much into this game. Their goalkeeping aspects. Antonio Conte is looking frustrated on the pitch. Di Lorenzo making that pass so good on the pitch. Lukaku just couldn't believe it that he misses. Lukaku with those misses in the previous seasons, he was being just condemned as a striker, but under Antonio Conte, this player is looking in a huge big form. And Antonio Conte getting those transfers, McTominay into the squad, Neres, Lobotka on the midfields back from the injuries, Jesus and Remani on the centre backs, Spinazzola and Di Lorenzo. Conte is definitely going to make those big. Whereas talking about the injuries for Juventus and Napoli, it is not much worth concerning, but they have got Bremer, Cabal and Milik. Juventus, they have got those injuries, whereas Napoli have got Oliveira and Boginono injured in their squad. But why was that transfer which Napoli, Antonio Conte's men made for Kvaratskhelia? That is something big. That is something big. Antonio Conte's men are relying on their bucks inside the pocket. What are your predictions for this game? For my side, it is Juventus as well as the likes of Citizens getting those wins for this Saturday night clash going on between these two big teams on the watch. Oh my god, my eyes just couldn't believe this. What is that happening over here? My eyes just can't believe over this. This is something going big over here. This is something going big over here. Where are those links? Yes, the links are working on the chat section over here. You can watch it from there also. We have the upcoming watch along of Real Madrid and Real Valladolid, as well as the likes of PSG and Reims upcoming late at night. To talk about the lineups which Manchester City is having, I mean, that is something big which Guardiola has to cook up. Guardiola has to cook up big. He has got the transfers up this season as well. And yes, to talk about it, it is Omar Marmoush, Vitor Reyes, Khusanov, and yes, Gundogan was there in the season as well. Guardiola can't deny that he hasn't got those transfers. He has got it. Marmoush getting it from Frankfurt, Vitor Reyes from Palmeiras, Khusanov from Lens. Whereas they has lost Kyle Walker. I mean, Milan, they have taken Kyle Walker. Serie A has done some sort of business in the transfers. They have called upon the players. That is also the watch of. They have got those Super Copas. Milan investing it in Kyle Walker because Milan has got the likes of their new manager, Conciaso. He is much relying on Kyle Walker. Oh my god. They have got the likes of Hernandez as well on the left backs, Kyle Walker on the right backs. That is two speedsters. My god, Milan. They are preparing for the Champions League, boys. They are preparing for the Champions League. AC Milan is preparing for the Champions League. It is quite evident from the new set of managers and new transfers they have been investing in. And yes, Manchester City has also got those transfers, but Chelsea, to look about their transfers, they have got the last Jordan Sancho, whereas no more transfer updates from Chelsea this winters. Enzo Maresca, he is relying because Chelsea, to talk about them, they have got so much talent of players in their squad always, but not getting that big yield. That is something wrong which happens with them time and again. That is something which you don't want your team to be reliable or your players to be playing it. That is something which your team needs to rely on. Can Chelsea make those difference, or it is these citizens getting Pep Guardiola not bringing in? He has got Marmoush and Thiago Motta, Juventus getting in the likes of Colomwani, two new transfers and new on the sets. It is Marmoush who is going to be on the pitch. We will be having a close watch on that player, Omar Marmoush. Just 3 minutes left into this game to begin. Manchester City and Chelsea on the watch over here. We will be just changing the watch. Let me just close this screen and bring in that live. You can watch the live over here. Oh my god, what is that sound coming in from? Where is that watch link? Yes, Manchester City and Chelsea. Man, these ads are so much time consuming. On the other hand, Pep Guardiola, he has brought in Marmoush in the lineup with Haaland. Oh my god, he is going on for those attacks. Marmoush and Haaland both on the attacking aspects. Pep Guardiola, is he getting his team ready like Real Madrid with all those attackers? He has got Foden, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, But Kovacic is there on the defensive midfields. That is what Guardiola is not doing. He has got Kusano on the center back. Oh my god. New transfers onto the Winters, and Guardiola has just brought both of them on the squad. De Bruyne not in the squad. John Stones nowhere near it. Grealish not a regular first half lineup for Guardiola these days. Savino, the new transfer, also not. Yes, Ruben Diaz, Nathan Ake, Rodri, Oscar Bob, four of the injuries. Whereas to talk of Chelsea, Badiashile, Fofana, Lavia, Joao Felix is also injured. Joao Felix, personal reasons, he will be back in early February. To talk about the lineup, Sancho, Madueke, Jackson and Palmer, they have been regular this season, but Chelsea not getting it big, because in the table, if we talk about it, just have a look over here. In the Premier League table, it is Liverpool all the way up, just losing one game, and that was Nottingham Forest. Santo, their manager, causing those upsets. They are the only team who hasn't given away any points to Liverpool, just with a draw and a win. That is what Nottingham Forest did. But Nottingham Forest today got those disappointments against Bournemouth. Oh my god. Arsenal on the second spot, but way behind, one game played more than Liverpool, but still 6 points behind Liverpool. Forest doing decent, 44. To talk about the least considered goals of the Premier League, it is now Liverpool and Arsenal. And the highest goal scored is definitely Liverpool. Liverpool is dominating this Premier League as well as in the Champions League. Arne Slot's men, to my predictions, making those uncomfortable stints in the second half of the season. They used to lose away points, but no. This season, Arne Slot's men are not looking any sort of disappointments. Whereas Chelsea, look at them, they have conceded 27 goals and scored 41. Not much high on those concedings, not even much that deeper into those goal scoring. 40 is the difference. Points which they are having, 13 points behind Liverpool, 7 points behind Arsenal, and Newcastle United have been doing good. That is what it is. And here we are having the watch of Manchester City and Chelsea. The referee has blown the whistle, and on the pitch it is John Brooks who is going to conduct the official disclaimer of those cards as well as those upsets. Will he be the turning point of this game? John Brooks and his team, will he cause those upsets? Manchester City, they have got the likes of Kusanov. It is that first touch from Kusanov. City has got Kusanov, his first touch, the number 45 in jersey. But when is the likes of Marmoush getting his touch good? Foden passes that. Oh my god, Marmoush has made that move. That was first shot made. Omar Marmoush just in 2 minutes makes his appearance felt for Manchester City. Foden passed that. It was such a clinical pass. Man, look at Marmoush. Marmoush is rocking. Marmoush is getting unmarked in the space. Guardiola is making those moves. Let me put this lineup off. Oh my god. Marmoush has made his move on the pitch, and he got that first touch so good. But that shot was not that good to get Sanchez some sort of disruption straight into his hands. In just 1 minute 30 seconds, Marmoush gets his first shot. The transfer for City. That is a blunder. That is a blunder. 2 transfers made by Manchester City. Pep Guardiola. Kusanov does that mistake, And it is that goal. Kusanov has done that blunder. Kusanov has done that blunder. My eyes couldn't believe it. It was just 30 seconds past to it. Omar Marmoush just made that move, but that shot wasn't that clinical. But Kusanov, the new substitution into the centre backs because of the absence of Ruben Diaz, Nathan Ake into the squad. Oh my God! Pep Guardiola not relying to John Stones and preferring Kusanov into the squad. That is going to bring worries. Guardiola's man, in just 2 minutes to be precise, has considered, and what a header back pass that was from Kusanov. Oh my God, Ederson nowhere near for that to collect it. Kusanov has made a big blunder in just 2 minutes of the gameplay. What is the new character which is going to be shown? What is the new character which is going to be shown? It is Kusanov. He is already having some sort of depressed face looking on the camera. He must not be happy. He must not be happy. Yes, the vote has come. The Blues and the old lady. It is Chelsea winning against those Kusanov. Kusanov has got that yellow card. Oh my God. Pep Guardiola's men are looking worried already. Kusanov getting those missed passes, and now he has got that yellow card as well. What a tackle that was to Cole Palmer. It would have been a penalty. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Kusanov is scratching his head. Kusanov is scratching his head. This young talent is looking worried. Number 45, 20 years of age, from Uzbekistan. This player is looking bit worried from Lens. Guardiola has got this transfer. What is that going to be in the next 85 minutes of the gameplay? That was a shot, but no worries for the likes of Ederson. Oh my God, Kusanov is under pressure, guys. Kusanov is under pressure. Gundogan passes to Kusanov again. Miss passes. Kusanov is making miss passes. Blunders from that new signing Kusanov. He is making those blunders. A goal conceded. Marmoush, an opportunity missed. It was Haaland over there. He didn't pass to him, but he rather went for that shot against Sanchez. But Sanchez, there was no worries for him because it was straight into his hands. Two new signings from Pep Guardiola in just 5 minutes of this gameplay against Chelsea have just committed some of the blunders. Are they going to get those comebacks, or it is those lost in forms which they are going to yield? Caicedo passing it. Chelsea, on the other hand, they have got Colville and Chalobah on the centre backs. That is some sort of Enzo Maresca's clinical aspects. And to talk about both the teams, it was Manchester City winning it against Chelsea in the previous meeting. In the second previous meeting, 3 previous meetings, Manchester City has reigned it big. It was in the February 2024 in the Premier League. Chelsea had a draw. It was a 4-4 draw against, but Chelsea hasn't won a game. I mean, for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2. It is for the past 11 games. Chelsea hasn't. It is Marmoush again speeding up. Marmoush is making his runs, boys. Marmoush is making his runs. It is Chelsea who hasn't won a game against Manchester City, both away and home, for the past 11 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my God. It was last May 30th, 2021 when Chelsea has got that win against Manchester City. And yes, That was in the Champions League. Oh my god. Chelsea, my friends, what is that incoming? One goal up in just 3 minutes of the gameplay. Two of the new signings from Pep Guardiola not looking that clinical on the pitch. One has missed a chance and one has just considered a miss pass. This is the story of Pep Guardiola's men on the pitch. The Blues and the old lady, there is a vote that they are going to win. The Juventus as well as Chelsea are going to win. On the other hand, citizens and Ukraine, no one has given their vote. Oh my god, what you guys are cooking up at your watch. What is that upcoming for today? What is that upcoming for today? Is it going to be the night where citizens are going to get those upsets? Big or not? Big or not? Nathan Ake, Kovacic staying deep on the midfields. Fluidity in the team. Now Guardiola has to come up big. Marmoush, that first touch wasn't that good. It is Palmer. He passes to Medweke. No. Jackson, who will convert it? Oh my god. Sancho missed it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Time and again, defensive errors from Manchester City are proving it. Is Guardiola going to make those changes into the squad first 10 minutes? Manchester City are Guardiola inside the box. Will he get that cross? Yes, no, denied. That was Sanchez denying it. Good. Man, look at that aggressive press. Look at that aggressive press. Kusanov is pressing so high up on the pitch. The hot air at the Etihad, they are facing Chelsea. It is nowhere for Kusanov to have a good feel of it. He is not feeling that hot air. He is just pressing it so high up on the pitch. Silva inside the box. Cucurella against it. Back to Foden. Foden taking that shot. It hits the first post. Foden's shot hits the first post. Miseries oncoming from the citizens. They are not looking clinical. Marmoush gets that shot. Oh my god, Marmoush missed it. Now it is Foden hitting the first post. And Chelsea on those counters are getting this miserable defensive awareness from Kusanov struggling it. One-sided game ongoing. Whereas citizens have to be clinical. Look at that shot from Foden. Man, that was power into it. Sanchez was nowhere near to get a hold to it. But it hits the first post, the woodwork. It was just shaken badly. Silva and Foden. Foden is trying to change the wings. But Marmoush is staying so center forwarded at times. Do you guys think that Marmoush is the best option which Guardiola has got? But still on the face of Kusanov, he is looking bit pressured. Kusanov's face is looking bit pressured. Sanchez, Chelsea goalkeeper, clears the ball. Worries incoming, guys. Worries. Nunes is playing on the left backs. He is staying high up. Kusanov and Kovacic are there for the defensive aspects. If Nunes is going to go up high on the pitch, after those 55 to 60 minutes, Guardiola has to make those changes. Nunes won't last for more than 60 minutes on the pitch. It will be a disaster. It will be a disaster if Nunes is going to play on those left backs for more than 60 minutes. It is Kusanov as well on there. What is Guardiola going to do with that? He has got Guardiola on the left backs. He will play up to the 90 minutes plus stoppage time. Akanji is also there. He has to bring in either Rico Lewis or the likes of Savino has to be made. Because Nunes won't last more than 60 minutes on the pitch. He will get exhausted, and it is on the likes of Ederson. He is staying so high up on those counter press from Chelsea. I mean, this formation, Guardiola is not moving high up on the pitch. Neither is he going bit defensive. Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, Silva to Nunes, back to Silva, Kovacic, Guardiola to be seen. Yes, passes to Guardiola on the left wings. Guardiola getting in those crosses. Yes, Foden, no, denied. Caicedo denies it. Good. Caicedo denies that goal. It is James on the right backs. It will be much watch for Guardiola as well to make those moves against Reece James. Reece James, Chaloba, Colville, Kurela, good defensive aspect Chelsea is having. Kovacic dribbling it. That is a missed pass. That is a missed pass from Kovacic. No, Kovacic is not that made. Kovacic is that big name on the pitch, but not good on the pitch. Not good on the pitch. Not looking good on the pitch, boys. Not looking good on the pitch. Not looking good on the pitch. The boys are not looking good on the pitch. Jordan Sancho on the run. Yes. He is inside the box. Oh my god. Thank God. Nathan Ake gets a touch to it. Nathan Ake gets a touch to it. Nathan Ake gets a good touch to it. Clinical finishings, clinical aspects. Guardiola's men are still lacking on it. Guardiola's men are still lacking on it. Marmoush on the left wings, but what are the runs which is he making? It is Guardiola coming to the rescue. Citizens are lacking tactical on this. Citizens are lacking tactical on this. Kusanov, Kovacic, Gundogan, back passes to Kusanov. Kusanov, look at that pass, but Cucurella gets that interception. Nunes was nowhere for that. Guardiola is looking hot fired. His eyes are red. The nerves and his veins on his head are just beaming and flowing with hot blood. He must not be happy with that first goal, which citizens have considered. No, not at all. Nathan Ake, Gundogan. What is that defensive midfield? Kovacic is not dropping down. Kovacic, Gundogan, and Bernardo Silva are three of them staying so on the straight line in the midfields. That is not which you have to watch. Silva back to Gundogan. Guardiola back to Gundogan. Kovacic, where is those passing options? Yes, he has got Nunes. That was a good pass. I mean, 5 of the citizens staying high up on the pitch for those attacks trying to get the Chelsea defensive players outnumbered in their own box. It might lead them to concede at times. Omar Marmoush is staying bit deep on those left wings, and at times he is making those incisive SS formations. Gundogan pressing it against Sanchez. Marmoush, yes, pressing it, but press from Marmoush is not getting that clinical. I mean, Omar Marmoush is not that player which you expect him to make those presses. I mean, he is that center forward player who has to be kept that clinical. Whereas the defensive aspect of Kusanov, I mean, why is he making that face on the pitch? He is looking a bit nervous, or is he a bit dejected for conceding that early goal? Palmer, Chaloba, Colville, Cucurella, Chelsea trying to build up and gain some position, but back pass that was a bad pass that was from Jackson. Caicedo, Sanchez, James. Look at that position from James. Look at that position from James. Look at that positioning from James. Silva has gone wide to the right backs, whereas James has dropped down to the defensive midfields. Chelsea are staying so close in their centre backs, and they are just insisting Guardiola's men to go for those wings because they know that it is Guardiola and Nunes. They are not going to be that fast or that winger movements they are not going to get. Enzo Maresca has got that good tactical approach. Enzo Maresca has still got that good tactical approach. It is for Chelsea to get this formation stay tuned up to those stoppage time. Nathan Ake moving up. Kusanov, Nunes, Silva, back to Kusanov, number 45, the new man in the new blue jersey on the pitch. Gundogan, Marmoush, Guardiola. Look at that from Haaland. He is staying high up on the pitch. Make that pass. Kovacic has that ball. Yes, he has made it. Foden. Will he change that wing? That is that formation coming in. Guardiola inside the box. Marmoush. Omar Marmoush. It was close for Omar Marmoush. That is what Guardiola's man tries it. Look at that creativity from Foden. He just gets a cut in, and it was for Guardiola to get it deep into the box. But that pass to Marmoush was bit over timed and overpowered. Marmoush has got two chances, guys. What are the chances of Haaland getting into the forwards? Because so far in it is Marmoush getting those moves. He is overlapping Haaland at times. It is Omar Marmoush overlapping Haaland at times. It is Marmoush again on the edge of the box. That is a foul. That is a foul inside the box or outside. What is that referee going to give that decision into it? Oh my God, John Brooks, the referee on pitch, just says it that it was on the edge of the box outside. Reece James with that tackle to Omar Marmoush. Omar Marmoush has finally won a free kick as a gift for this transfer. Will this free kick end in some sort of goal? Will this free kick end in some sort of goal? What is that going to happen? Will this free kick add in some sort of goals? Can we sense that, guys? Can we sense that goals incoming? What is that going to happen? 24 minutes on the watch. Free kick being taken. Marmoush, Marmoush. That was nowhere near Marmoush, but the two transfers taking those shots. It is Marmoush and it is Kusanov. Both of them taking those shots, but none of them getting it clinical. Silva missed passes, but Nunes recovers it good on the right wings. That is a corner, I guess. That is a corner. Manchester City has won a corner against Chelsea. Will that corner yield to some sort of goal, or will that be a miss? Sanchez on the goalkeeping positions. Foden, that is a bypass corner being taken. Foden again inside the box. Denied. Sancho denied it for Foden. Nunes, Silva on the right wings. Ake is there. Haaland is there. Haaland misjudged it. It's Guardiola. Take that shot, boy. Guardiola. What a miss. Josko Guardiola inside the box. Just can't convert it. I mean, so close to the nets. How can you take that shot so wide of the post? Man, damn, was that a miss? How could you afford that miss? It was off the post. It was off the post. The lack in the form of these citizens is quite evident on the pitch. 25 minutes on the pitch, and that is a yellow card for Colville for those time waste management going on the pitch. That is a yellow card for Colville. Good job done. John Brooks, referee on pitch, is doing his job so good. Thank God, John Brooks. Cucurella passes for Sancho. Back to Sanchez. I mean, to talk about the performance of Sanchez, their goalkeeper, he has been performing decent. Sanchez, he is just clearing away those late balls, the late thirds, the late fourths on his half. He is clearing it so good. That is what is needed. He is not taking those risks. Sanchez, Caicedo, back passes to Sanchez. That was Haaland on the interception. No, denied. Omar Marmoush not having that physicality. Mediocre on the wings from Chelsea inside the box. Denied. Nadanake is getting those interceptions good today. Gundogan just nutmegging the likes of Medioge. Caicedo getting those tackles for Guardiola. Back passes to Ake. Kusanov again. Kovacic. Gundogan. Marmoush. Gundogan again. Nadanake. Bernardo Silva. Kusanov. Nunes. Nunes has got whom to pass. You have to go for those vast wing flanks changes to be made, boys. Make those wing flank changes. Gundogan moving from the left midfields. Why is Guardiola not making those runs? Ake, Kovacic. Make those forward runs. Foden is there. Finally, he makes it. But it will be the flags are raised. Yes, that it is. The passes they have to make is not getting it good. Man, that bald man on the pitch from FIFA, no disclaimer about him, is on the stand watching this game. Big money on the pitch tonight, boys. Big money. Cucurella, Colville, look at that from Colville. It is Ederson making those runs into the box. Palmer, will he go for those shots? No, he passes for Madueke. Ederson is back to his goalkeeping positions, but Madueke is inside the box, chasing it, passes to Palmer. Palmer with his left footer. Thank God, it was straight into the hands of Ederson. No worries, boys. Look at that ball. Cole Palmer, he runs with his body so much crawled into that momentum. Palmer winning it against Kovacic. My God, citizens are passing in their build-ups in the defensive aspects. Damn, Madueke or Jackson getting it. Oh my God, misery is incoming from the Manchester City defense, and their passes are getting so annoying and so depressing. Cucurella against Nunes. Cucurella is getting those big wins. Cucurella is getting those awareness as well as those fast movements on the pitch. Much against Nunes. Compared to Nunes, Cucurella is looking more active on the pitch. Cucurella is looking more active on the pitch compared to that of Nunes. Not happening. Citizens are lacking their composure. Citizens are really lacking their composure. They are really looking it lacking in their composure. They have got something which they have to yield. They are really lacking those composure on the pitch. They are really looking in those composure. Really looking it bad. Citizens are really looking it so bad on the pitch. Really bad on the pitch. Not happening. It is getting explosive. It is getting more explosive. Foden with that chance. No, denied again, denied again. Foden is being denied time and again. Foden is being denied time and again. Foden is being denied time and again on this pitch. This battle for Europe, is it going to be big or not? That is something which has to be proven. That is something which has to be proven on the pitch. On the other hand, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, finally they have got it. Holy Christ. I just couldn't yield a single word out of it. And what is that? Back passes to Kovacic. Kovacic hits that. Haaland blocked again. Kovacic again. Oh my god, it was Marmoush offside. Marmoush getting that goal, but no denied. Two of the transfers. Two of the transfers. Pep Guardiola's man having on the pitch. No. Pep Guardiola's man having on the pitch. Not happening. Not happening. Marmoush. Not happening. Will that be a big turnover for this man? Because on his debut performance, time and again he is not getting those clinical finishings. Time and again he is not getting those big moves. And yes, time and again he is not getting it good. Marmoush and Kusanov, both of these are just getting so much of annoying moments on the pitch. Much worries incoming for Guardiola's man. Much worries incoming for the Guardiola's man. Look at that run. Look at that run from Cole Palmer. I mean, he runs with his body, I mean, his upper body so much bent into it, and then also he runs it at such a speed. I mean, that is something which you don't expect much. Citizens are making those opportunities incoming time and again, whereas Chelsea are looking for those missed passes happening on the defensive midfields of the Citizens. Marmoush falling onto the pitch. It was Reece James, a tackle which Omar Marmoush, the Egyptian on the pitch. I mean, it is on the other hand Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian at Liverpool, and this is that Egyptian at Citizens. These are the two Egyptians who are creating those big changes for the Premier League. But can Omar Marmoush be the likes of Mo Salah in the future? A big watch out, because in the transfers, it is Pep Guardiola who has just chosen Omar Marmoush for those transfers this season. A free kick in favor of the Citizens. Kusanov, he is staying so high, man. Kusanov is staying so high. Nathan Ake, Gundogan speeding up. Guardiol. Kovacic changes the wing. Nunes back to Silva. Silva back passes, but he was not having a look at the defensive aspects. He just passes it blindly. Man, Silva is that man. He makes those passes so good. Kovacic passes to Ake. 37 minutes on the watch. Guardiola, Gundogan. Gundogan has got Foden. Back pass to Gundogan. Omar Marmoush is not making those positions count on him. Chalobah is man marking him good. Just look at that man marking from Chalobah and Reece James. Foden against Chalobah. Denied. It is for Foden to cut in for Marmoush to give him that space. Marmoush is having the taste of the Premier League as well as the likes of Kusanov. What is that Sanchez and Canwell doing? Will that be a handball inside the box? I mean, Colville is just holding the ball with his hand inside the box. That will be a big aspect. Kusanov, Nadanake, much of the possession by Guardiola's men, but not getting those critical moves. Ake passes to Gundogan, Kusanov. Kusanov is moving high up on the pitch. Oh my god, look at that positioning from Kusanov. He has moved high up on the pitch. Oh my god. Kusanov to Kovacic. Kovacic finds Guardiola. Yes, take that shot. Take that shot. When are you going to? Oh my god. If you are relying on those tracking capabilities of Guardiola to be incoming, man, Guardiola from the left back to the left midfields now playing on those tracking positions. Not. That is what City is lacking. That is what City is lacking. It was straight for Guardiola to get a shot into it, but not that clinical, not that good to give some sort of numbers counting in the goals tally. 40 minutes. Citizens haven't yet scored a goal. Much pressure will be built on the second half. At the home, trailing by one goal at the Etihad, Citizens with two new transfers on their first lineup, not getting it critical. Kovacic, Silva again, Gundogan dropping in, but both Gundogan and Silva staying so close on the pitch, on the midfields. That is something not good happening, especially in the midfields, not good happening. Look at that. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players of Citizens are high up on the forwards, but Chelsea is compressing the team time and again. So good. It is some sort of opportunities. Guardiola, yes, that is the first goal Guardiola has got, and the second half will be less pressure and more goals will be incoming. Thank God that was some chance created, and somehow Guardiola gets it. Cucurella, 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 getting that Cucurella tackle and that win. I mean, Cucurella, on the other hand, he is man marking Nunes, but this time it was Cucurella up. It was Nunes against Cucurella, and yes, Nunes wins it big time. That challenge, even Sanchez came in for that rescue. It was that leg from Cucurella and Sanchez just couldn't get a collect to it, a deflection of that ball, and it was straight. Just so simple for Guardiola, and thank God, thanks to this holy God, that finally Guardiola gets it. Chances were incoming. That is what these citizens are building, those characters. Come on, big boys, get 5 goals out of this Chelsea squad. Get 5 goals at least. To talk about the stats of this game, it is 11 times Manchester City they have been building up those shots, whereas Chelsea has just gone for those counters and press and winning those cheapy steepy counters with those 5 shots on target. Get it, big boys. 43 minutes on the watch. What a time to get that equalizer in the second half. Just get the full pressure on and break the Chelsea wall. Jackson into the box. Kusanov gets that tackle good. Kusanov gets that tackle good. Guardiola is looking upset. Guardiola is looking upset with Kusanov. Time and again, Kusanov is committing those blunders. I mean, he is a player young of age. Looking at him, Kusanov, the man from Uzbekistan, this player from Lens, just 20 years of age. I mean, Guardiola relying on those centre backs, 20 years of age on the squad, the first lineup from Guardiola from Uzbekistan. This is a huge. I mean, Kusanov if he is going to stick with this, much of the applause coming on for him. Much of the applause coming on for him. Kusanov trying to find Haaland. Oh my God. Kusanov makes those moves. It is Kusanov winning that tackle against Palmer. Oh my God. Finally, those tackles which Kusanov is making, someone from the citizens have to come for those rescues. That is not happening on the defensive aspects. Kusanov is just having the taste of the Premier League. James, that throw, Palmer. James against Marmoush. Palmer tries to find Madueke, but Madueke was nowhere near to get that touch. 2 minutes of added time for the first half to conclude. Will that end with this equalizer? Or it is going to be some sort of disappointments? What is that going to be? 2 minutes of added time in the first half. But no touches from Erling Haaland. He is staying like that pole on the pitch. He is staying like that big pole on the pitch. When is Haaland going to get his goals incoming? When is Erling Haaland going to be seen getting his goals incoming? Matheus Nunes against Jackson. Suddenly, after that goal, to talk about, Matheus Nunes had been building up his character good into this game. Silva, Nunes again. Caicedo against Silva. Silva gets that. Fall on the pitch. Caicedo back passes to Chalobah. Colville. Back passes to Chalobah. Palmer on the right midfields. Back passes to Reece James. Caicedo. Back to James. Colville. Cucurella. Jackson, Sancho, build up going on smooth for Chelsea. Yes, Caicedo again. Fernandez, Madueke inside the box. Madueke takes that shot. Oh my god, that was a rocket. That was a bazooka. Yes, the referee has blown the whistle and the first half has come to an end. The first half and the Etihad has come to an end, and what a performance. And if you talk about both Chelsea and Manchester City just staying to their tactics, but to talk about Chelsea, they haven't got their win against the Citizens in the past 11 straight games. Oh my god. Chelsea, how are you going to tackle this up? Because the last time when Chelsea has got a win against City, it was in the Champions League final stage. That was the era where Chelsea were under Thomas Tuchel. Tuchel was the manager from Chelsea who got them those wins. Apart from that, it is either a draw or it is Manchester City winning it most of the times. And this first half started with so much disaster from Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's men taking up those two forwards, Marmoush as well as Haaland and Foden, as well as the new signing Kusanov. Kusanov was a disaster. Pep Guardiola is going to make those second half substitutions or not, but if is he going to drop Kusanov from the squad, will he bring in John Stones? It is Vitor Reis. He is also that new transfer. He has got just 19 years of age from Brazil, Palmeiras. Is he going to bring Vitor Reis? Experiments which Guardiola has to make in the upcoming matches, because he has got those big fixtures upcoming. Because in the upcoming fixtures, Manchester City, they have got this game against Chelsea. Next in the Champions League, it is Club Brugge. But after that, it is Arsenal. In the FA Cup, there is a game as well. Next, it is Newcastle, Liverpool, Tottenham. Oh my god, Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Leicester, Man United, Crystal Palace. The upcoming 7 to 8 games straight for Manchester City is a huge games which are upcoming. Big clashes for Manchester City. They have to prove it. And amidst this, it is the likes of Ruben Dias who has got that groin injury. Mid-February, he will be absent up to. Nathan Ake is on some sort of muscle injury as well. Rodri for long injury. Oscar Bob has broken leg. From the defensive aspect, if you talk about Manchester City, I would say that it is only up to the hands of Akanji, Kusanov, but John Stones not being picked up by Guardiola time and again. He is that talented centre back on the pitch. He has got those 270 caps. 2016, he has got those 19 goals even. Such a player, 30 years of age, not being picked up. Guardiola is just making this player rest on the bench most of the times. Why? So what do you think, guys? Is Guardiola going to make those changes in the squad, in the substitutions? Or from the aspect, if we look at about Rico Lewis will have to be make those substitutions. Savino will come in, but can Nunes and Guardiol will last up to the 90 minutes plus stoppage time, but can the likes of Matheus Nunes, will he last up to those 90 minutes? That is the place the other concern for Guardiola's men will be. To talk about Chelsea, they have got Reece James, man marking good against Marmoush, but Marmoush is getting those paces and runs into those defensive lineups from Chelsea. But Chalobah and Colwill doing their job decent at times, but you can't stop Manchester City from winning this game against Chelsea, and this game is going to bring those moments back. On the other hand, Cucurella, at times he is cuckoo and Rela. He has just yielded away a cheap defensive tackle and Guardiola getting those equalizers. But on the other hand, Chelsea are just looking for those missed passes in the midfield by Manchester City to get a goal. What is in store for the second half? We will be having a watch of it, but it is a break going on the stream over here. And let us straight look at the match center, that it is the likes of 11 shots from Manchester City and only 6 by Chelsea. 3 on target by both the teams. 4 big chances for City, but clinically not finishing it goal. Where is Guardiola's man? On the other hand, if we talk about the passes which has been made, 198 passes which Guardiola's men have made in their own half. That is what their position is. On the opposition's half, it is their 86 passes, just half the number of passes. So in the midfield, Guardiola's men are lacking that creativity, but they have got those chances, because Chelsea, to talk about them, they are just shrinking the stretch of the field to a narrow gap. And yes, citizens have to get those wide passes as well as those long crosses to be made perfectly pitched to get their forwards attacking, for Marmoush, for Foden, for Haaland, for Nunes, for Guardiola to get those attacks. That is what is lacking in it. Man, this is looking absurd. On the table of the Premier League, it is which is stands Manchester City against Chelsea. If this is a draw, will move up to 7th spot with 39 points. But instead, if it comes a win, then it will be 41 points. It will, I mean, they will be above Chelsea. They will move up to the 4th spot. A win is much required for the trailing Manchester City under Guardiola. On the other hand, we were having a watch of Napoli and Juventus. Oh my god, 65 minutes into this game. And yes, Napoli and Juventus, they have scored. Anguissa and Colomwani. Oh my god, Juventus Colomwani has scored. What a brilliant game this is going on. Colomwani, that debut game, he has got his debut goal. Big things incoming, guys. Big things incoming. But we are focusing on this Premier League game. Chelsea and Manchester City. FIFA president is also there watching this game. And on the second half, we will also watch the game. But we will take a 1 minute of short break and we'll be back to the stream. Do stay tuned, guys. And yes, there is a poll on the chat over here that who is going to win today, the Blues and the old lady, the Citizens and the Cucurelli, or this match is going to be a draw. The match links are also there on our social media platform. Do check on it. Till then, 1 minute of break I will take and I will be back to the stream because I have to take some rest. 1 minute, I will be back. Do stay tuned, guys. Oh my god, I missed my empty vessel. What is that which is incoming? What is that which is incoming in the second half? Is it the likes of the Italian giants fighting Napoli and Juventus? Oh my god, Napoli has scored. Lukaku has got that penalty and he has converted. Hello guys, welcome back to the second half of the streaming. This is Ramsay and our team is just having the watch along of Napoli and Juventus, as well as the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea on the screen. Napoli, Lukaku getting his 9th goal in the Serie A this season. I mean, when is the last time when Lukaku has got so many goals? This is mesmerizing. Antonio Conte is making Napoli look good in the Serie A. And yes, Juventus on the other hand, they have got the likes of Colomwani in the squad. Oh my god, Colomwani on the pitch has scored today. And Lukaku scoring that penalty, it is Napoli 2 and Juventus 1. Juventus has got that sole goal from Colomwani, and Juventus this season in the Serie A, they haven't got a loss. To be precise, of the Serie A table, Napoli has got 3 losses, considered 15 goals, but Juventus no loss. This will be the first loss of the Serie A which Juventus will be facing. I mean, the old lady facing their first defeat, the Thiago Motta in the Serie A. And in the previous fixture, Juventus winning it big against AC Milan. That was huge. That was huge. But Juventus has scored 35 goals and conceded 19, on the 5th spot with this loss. But if this is going to be a win, then Napoli will be on 50 points. But now they are 6 points ahead of Inter, and Inter will come on to a race because they have got 2 games, 2 wins, 6 points. That will be an equalizer, but not ahead of Napoli. Juventus, are they going to get a defeat or not in the Serie A? We will be having the watch parallel to the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea to talk about the lineups. I mean, Manchester City, Pep Guardiola's man has got Kuzanov, their new striker, I mean new defender, who was doing those miracles disastrously in favor of Chelsea, giving away those possession cheaply. And it was Marmoush who was making those runs at times, but Marmoush was not that clinical in those finishing. It is the lack of the Premier League pace, as well as the lack of the Premier League mentality, which these two players are not having. But to talk about Guardiola, he never picks John Stones in the pitch. He has got Ruben Dias injured. He has got the likes of Oscar Bob injured, Nathan Ake is injured, Rodri is in long-term injury, and he has to stick on Vitor Reis or John Stones, the 2 substitutions which he can make. But is he going to make that or not? That is what the worry will be. On the other hand, Chelsea, but more to talk about Manchester City, in these stats, they have got those big shots, total 11, just 3 on target. 1 miss was that from the likes of Foden as well. Clinical finishings not happening. 4 big chances which the citizens have got, not being able to convert 3 of them, whereas Chelsea has got 3 shots on target out of their total 6 shots taken. But the most disastrous thing is that look at the passes. It is 198 own half passes which citizens have made in this game, whereas in the opposition half they have just managed to make those creativity with 86 passes. Half, almost half, I mean less than half the number of passes which they have been creative in the opposition's half. The midfield is lacking in making those passes. It is the likes of Gundogan and Silva relying on the likes of Kovacic in the midfields, which is not happening. On the other hand, Chelsea are relying most on the missed passes which they are getting by the citizens causing it. And that is what the upset is. They have got that one goal. But Chelsea hasn't got a win against the citizens in their past 11 games. It was the last Champions League final stage where Chelsea were not under the likes of Enzo Maresca, but it was Thomas Tuchel. They got those wins. Guardiola's men hasn't got those defeats under Chelsea for the past 11 games. Either it is a draw or the citizens have got those maximum wins out of those 11 games. That is all for it. But is Guardiola going to make those changes or not? We are back to the main panel of the watch along, and yes, today Liverpool winning it big against Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town, who are under that relegation, going it. When is that? Yes, the second half has started. No substitutions being made. Oh my god. No substitutions being made. No substitutions being made on the second half. Oh my god. It is still the likes of Kusanov playing in. Guardiola is relying on Kusanov again. Must be some sort of talk which has happened in the second half in the dressing room, and Guardiola is sticking to Kusanov again in the second half. No substitutions being made, neither by Enzo Maresca nor by Guardiola. Both are sticking to their first half lineup. Colville, Reece James. Reece James at time he is staying bait center back positions. That is that opportunity which Marmoush has to take. Gundogan high up on the pitch. Gundogan at times assisting the likes of Marmoush for his positioning on the pitch. It is Chelsea moving high up on the pitch. That was a good tackle. That was a good tackle from Kusanov, Matheus Nunes, and oh my god, Kovacic has given it. It is Palmer inside the box. Thank god, nobody's. Oh my god, clearance from Nathan Ake is not good enough. But finally, the citizens, I'm going to talk about in their defensive midfields are Haaland. Haaland is up. He has got that ball. Get it big. Get that shot. Haaland into the nets, but straight into the hands of Sanchez. Look at that. Kusanov with that challenge. He is missing those tackles time and again. Kusanov is time and again missing those tackles. He is looking dried up of his energy as well. Across that is from Madueke, Sanchez, Cucurella, high up on the box, nowhere near it. Man, Manchester City with the likes of Kusanov is looking disastrous. He is looking disastrous. No scoring opportunities yet. Haaland took that left footer, but it was straight. It was straight for Sanchez. No worries for him. Where are those clinical finishings from Erling Haaland? Not seen. Guardiola back passes to Gundogan. Ederson clears it good. They are not going for the options for Kusanov. Ederson is playing that lame part on the pitch, not relying to Kusanov and clearing it. That is the place where citizens have to be worried of. Kusanov is playing that odd man out on the pitch. Kusanov is playing that odd man out on the pitch. Are there going to be much worries incoming for Guardiola's men? Why is Kusanov looking so disastrous? Yes, now Pep Guardiola is making that substitution. John Stones coming onto the pitch. Kusanov with his upset debut performance, might be leaving the pitch soon. Yes, it is that number 45 against the number 5. Ruben Diaz substituting Kuzanov. Kuzanov's face is looking so depressed, and yes, he might not be happy with that debut performance on the pitch. Look at that challenge from Kuzanov. Aggression coming on. Citizens are praising Kusanov, that young age, 20 years, making those appearances. Guardiola even hugs him. But Kusanov's face is red and he is looking to be crying into those dressing room much because his debut performance hasn't been that good, considering a goal with those cheap tackles and time and again leading to those opportunities. He is handed up with those a bottle of water and some protein shake might be for Kusanov on the stats. Citizens are looking to build up with those centre backs with the likes of Kusanov. Kusanov is that young mind in the Etihad. He has to pick up good because it is Pep Guardiola who has chosen him for the centre backs. He has to prove big. He has to prove big. He has to come big. Chalobah, on the other hand, from Chelsea, is down to the ground, in need of some sort of physical aid for him. He is off the pitch. Is Enzo Maresca going to make the substitutions, or it is that some sort of time-waste management policy from Enzo Maresca's team which is happening on the pitch? The game continues. Sanchez takes that shot. Look at that from John Stones. Ederson clearing it. Good centre back presence. John Stones on the pitch. Now defensively at least Manchester City won't be yielding those cheap goals. Guardiola is looking like a lost man on the pitch. So many upsets this season. He can't afford to lose any more games. But with this win, he will definitely crawl up to the 4th spot of the table in the Premier League. Gundogan interception good. Silva, Haaland, Cucurella clears it. Ake header, Kovacic. The ball is just lumping away like a ping pong from both the Blues in the midfield, and they are looking for those aerial crosses as well as those passes, but nothing looking good on those build-ups. Colville, Cucurella, back to Colville, Sanchez. On the other hand, Chelsea in this game hasn't been making those creative playmaking capabilities on the pitch. They have been relying much on the missed passes from the citizens time and again. Ake getting that header interception into the defensive half of Chelsea, but Chalobah getting those clearances. Man, what is this going on? Both the teams are just lofting away the ball, not going for those possession. Pressure is there on both the teams. It is quite visible. Both the teams are under pressure. Kovacic, he is speeding away. Reece James is the ram on the right backs, denying Kovacic with those runs. Colville, Sancho, Enzo. Enzo is speeding up. Yes, Jackson. Jackson has got Enzo. Jackson takes that shot. What a lame shot from Jackson inside the box. No power in it. No finishing in it. No accuracy to that shot. And with that fall, what was that shot from Jackson? Is Jackson a forward on the pitch, guys? Do you guys think that Jackson is a forward on the pitch? This man from Senegal, 23 years of age, 67 games played for Chelsea for the past 2 years, 26 goals scored. Prior to that, he was at Villarreal. In just 48 games, he got 13 goals. 21 matches started this season. Out of those 21 matches, all the 21 games he has started from the first lineup, 9 goals he has got. He is the highest goal scorer for Chelsea in the squad. That is what about Nicholas Jackson is, and Chelsea has been relying on the likes of Nicholas Jackson time and again. The best performer for Chelsea this season has been Cole Palmer with 14 goals and the likes of 6 assists. That is the man who has been creating those good opportunities for Chelsea. And yes, Nicholas Jackson and Madueke getting those 9 goals and 6 goals each. Enzo Fernandez and Sancho has got those assists. But Jadon Sancho is the man who is lost. Jordan Sancho is that man who is lost, because this English man from the Manchester City Academy to Dortmund, to Manchester United, to Dortmund, again United, and his stints at United has been under no speculations, and he has lost it completely. Such a talented player, he is lost. Jordan Sancho is lost. A free kick, that is, but straight into the hands of Sanchez. In the second half, talking about the creativity, I think it is Kevin De Bruyne to make those presence felt, because Bernardo Silva and Gundogan in the second half especially not making those appearances count. It is Christopher Nkunku, the man on the transfer rumors with Mathis Tel from Bayern Munich. It is finally Jackson moving his ass out of the pitch. It is Nkunku. I would rather say Christopher Nkunku has got those capabilities. I mean, he is under much of those injuries, but look at his stint at Paris Saint-Germain. He has got those 105 games, 17 goals. Leipzig, 172 games, 70 goals. He was good in the Bundesliga. At Chelsea, 42 games played for the past 2 years, and most of the times under injury, but has got 16 goals. I mean, Nicholas Jackson, 67 games, 26 goals. Christopher Nkunku, the substitute player, 42 games, 16 goals. That is what Enzo Maresca is relying, and the substitute being made. Nunes trying to cut in into the box, but denied. Chelsea is playing deep in their defensive half. Ederson, Silva, Foden has got Nunes. Nunes going for Haaland. No, back passes to Foden. Where are those passes coming on for Erling Haaland? And look at that, Marmoush and Haaland are staying so close. It is Nunes trying to get some sort of passes, but Cucurella on the defensive aspects, I mean, just sticking to his positioning capabilities, Cucurella is doing good. But when Cucurella has been seen changing his positions depending upon the fluidity of the team, Cucurella has been lacking that composure against Matheus Nunes. Corner incoming, Foden passes to Gundogan, back to Foden again on the wings. Foden with that cross, no, not that clinical. Nunes, Kovacic, Guardiol back to Kovacic. Nunes tries to get those runs, finds Guardiola, back to Nathan Ake, Nunes back to Ake, Kovacic. This is what the transition is happening on the pitch. Manchester City are having those transitions on the pitch. This is what the place where they are lacking it in those creativities. The fluidity in the team from Manchester City is not looking that good. Kovacic, Nathan Ake, Gundogan, back to Kovacic, John Stones, Nunes. Cucurella is man marking Nunes. Nunes is trying to change his position to get the Chelsea centre back outnumbered. Finds Marmoush. Gundogan finds Haaland. Will Haaland go for those mid passes? Foden was there. Guardiola back passes it. Marmoush again. Marmoush on the left wings against Reece James. These two fights which are going on, it is Marmoush against Reece James and it is the likes of Nunes against Cucurella. But Marmoush is looking exhausted, guys. Omar Marmoush, 64 minutes on the watch, is now looking exhausted and dried up of his gas. No pedal on his boost. He is not being able to press his foot against that pedal for that gas. He is looking for those energies on the pitch. Marmoush is looking dried up of his energy. When is Guardiola going to make those changes? I mean, what was the need of it? They had got Julian Alvarez, whereas he went for those transfers for Julian Alvarez to the Rogi Bancos, Atletico Madrid, and now they have brought in the likes of Marmoush. I simply just couldn't understand this tactical approach from Guardiola. This season at least, I mean, he just let Julian Alvarez go and he just bought in 70 million baby Marmoush. Man, Guardiola just led to big profit sustainability report for the likes of Frankfurt on the move. That is what Guardiola did this season. I don't find any adaptability in this situation which Guardiola has got. It doesn't time and again going for Haaland. Yes, he has got Marmoush. Pass that to Haaland. Yes, it is the likes of Marmoush scoring it. Oh my God. Marmoush is having the taste of the nets of the Premier League. The woodwork is, I think, bit short in size for Marmoush to get a strike. That strike from Marmoush, that was bit curling outside, but no way near the post. Sanchez was not even close to get a touch to it. But the shot was not that clinical. Nadanake back passes. John Stones. Stones is having the position as well as his character good. He is looking confident as well. And now, will Haaland take that shot? Take that shot, boy, Haaland! Yes, it is Erling Haaland scoring it. That single man-handedly converts it so good. It was the likes of Foden, it was the likes of Marmoush not getting those clinical edges, but this time Ederson time and again pressing for Haaland high up for those long balls. Now Erling Haaland has got that goal, boy. Erling Haaland has got that goal. Big man, giant, leading to those high pitch shot. Look at that. It doesn't made that for Haaland. Haaland runs it against the likes of Chalobah, takes a cut in it. It was Sanchez high up on the pitch. He was not relying on Chalobah to tackle Haaland. Look at that offensive awareness from Haaland. It is just like those Dortmund goals which he's used to score. Oh my God. Sanchez even got a touch to it. But Haaland was clinical into it and getting that lead in 68 minutes of the watch. It is Pep Guardiola. His hands are now raised high up on the skin. Haaland must be enjoying this moment, boys. Haaland must be enjoying. The Viking at Manchester City is proving it. Now Chelsea will be 12 games not winning it against the Citizens. Pep Guardiola has mastered the game plan against Enzo Maresca's Chelsea. Enzo Maresca, his capabilities, I mean, under Pep Guardiola, he is, if you would call him Enzo Maresca, a copy paste, and Chelsea doing it time and again. Manchester City Academy from 2020 and 21. Enzo Maresca might have got the taste that he is going to be one of the top contenders in the Premier League. He went to Parma, then to Leicester City, and now at Chelsea. But Chelsea hasn't got those wins apart from the Thomas Tuchel arena at the Champions League final. This will be the 12th game straight when Chelsea will not be getting those wins against the Citizens, the game which I was waiting for this season to happen. What is in store? It is 70 minutes on the watch, 30 minutes, 20 minutes plus stoppage time left into it. Are the Citizens going to get 2 or 3 more goals, or is it Enzo Maresca's team going to get those equalizers? Oh my God. Guardiola's men getting those form back into the squad is definitely needed to get some competition. With this win in the Premier League table, if we talk about, just have a look at it, it is the likes of Chelsea dropping the points to the 6th spot, whereas the likes of Manchester City moving on to the 4th spot. But a huge difference between Arsenal and Liverpool. This is the Premier League table which will look, and yes, who denies the fact that Manchester City are not going to play the next season of the Champions League as well. These are the moments which they have to convert with those defensive setbacks for Guardiola this season, and time and again it is Ruben Dias also getting those injuries, much worries on incoming. Manchester City at the 4th spot with this win, but too much of this, they have conceded 30 goals. The defensive error is talking behind Manchester City Pep Guardiola's downfall this season. It is Liverpool conceding 21 goals, Arsenal conceding 21 goals, Nottingham Forest, Nuno Santo conceding 27, whereas Citizens have conceded 30, Newcastle has conceded 27, Chelsea has considered 29, Bournemouth 26, but those 30 goals which Manchester City has considered this season, it is definitely the defensive approach as well as the injuries for Guardiola's men has been causing those upsets time and again for him for the past 15 to 16 games. 73 minutes. Ederson passes to Guardiola. Guardiola back passes to Nathan Ake. Ake getting those clearances for Marmoush, but no, denied. Reece James, on the other hand, has been man marking Marmoush good. Reece James has been man marking good. Oh my god, it is those substitutions which are being made. Reece Louis James has been called down, and it is the likes of Gusto. Substitutions being made. Chelsea is making those substitutions on the pitch. 73 minutes of the watch. Kevin De Bruyne brought in Manmouche. His debut appearance has ended, and yes, the citizens at the Etihad, the fans are just clapping away the performance of Marmoush. Yes, he had got those opportunities, but he couldn't convert it. But that was a good performance, I would consider, as a whole, from Marmoush, getting the taste of the air. I mean, the hot air which is booming up in the Premier League. Marmoush gets his appearance good. The two new transfers into the first lineup, both Marmoush and Kusanov. Now, Kusanov has been substituted in those early second half, and now Marmoush. It is now John Stones and Kevin De Bruyne, two substitutes for Manchester City, and for Chelsea, Christopher Nkunku, Gusto, and Pedro Neto has been brought in. By the likes of Jackson, Sancho, and James, they have been substituted. Three substitutions for Enzo Maresca and two for Guardiola. Colville, Enzo. Enzo tries to find Nkunku. Nkunku has that speed, chasing for Silva. Still 15 minutes of the gameplay left in the second half, plus stoppage time. But no substitutions being made. Nunes is that player who is playing on the right backs. Nunes will be looking dried up of his energy. I mean, to talk about Chelsea, they have got so much of talent in their douche bag, but not capitalizing it good. Haaland, Foden, Kovacic, an appeal for a handball, but no, the referee says to continue the game. Ake passes to Haaland. Silva back passes to Nunes. Foden, Kovacic, John Stones. I mean, look at that defensive aspect which Guardiola has got upon bringing John Stones on the pitch. That is definitely what he must rely on, rather than picking up those young transfer boys into those squad. I mean, he has got that 20-year-old Kusanov into the squad, as well as he has got the transfers of Vito Reyes, 19 years of age, on those defensive aspects. And on the other hand, he has got the likes of John Stones, De Bruyne, Foden, creativity going on in the pitch. And upon the substitution, De Bruyne has been seen on the pitch. Suddenly things are looking changing so much with the possession for the citizens. I mean, such a talented player, Kevin De Bruyne. Look at his positioning. He is staying on those perfect passes. What a pass that is to Nunes. My God, look at that pass from Kevin De Bruyne to Nunes. That was magical. That was a magical pass. Kevin De Bruyne made it so critical, so good for Nunes. John Stones, Nathan Ake. Citizens are looking controlling the game now. Citizens are now looking controlling the game so good. Stones, Nathan Ake, Guardiola, Gundogan, but Gundogan doesn't care to pass that to Guardiola, rather passes to Stones. Bernardo Silva. Silva back passes to Ederson. Stones again. Stones is asking Nunes to move high up on the pitch. Oh my god, oh my god. It was straight for Haaland. It was straight for Haaland. Gusto back to Sanchez. Sanchez, is he trying to find Christopher Nkunku? But Sancho is not having that power in his shot. Enzo Fernandez. What is that tackle Bernardo Silva has made to Enzo Fernandez? My god. Is the referee going to give some sort of booking for it? That was a bad tackle. Bernardo Silva made a bad tackle for Enzo Fernandez on the pitch. I mean, to talk about this, it was the referee on field, the likes of, this man, John Brooks, he did that decision quite favorable. But it was a bad tackle from Silva. Caicedo, Chalobah, Palmer. Palmer today is not getting those creativity. In the first half, he got those moves. But in the second half, Palmer is not making those moves. Cucurella, Colville, Caicedo, Chalobah, Gusto is playing on the midfields. Chelsea is now dropping to those three centre backs. Where is the involvement of Pedro Neto on the pitch? I'm not getting it. Chelsea are not being able to just get the possession into the opponent's half. Now it is Pedro Neto, Nkunku, back to Pedro Neto, Enzo Fernandez changes the flank, Madueke, one-on-one against Guardiola. Interception from Nadanake is so good. 80 minutes are up. Look at that run from Haaland. It was against Colville and Chalobah, but he has been denied. Palmer is on the mid pitch to Pedro Neto, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Chalobah. Chelsea are looking to make something cracking up into the defensive half of Manchester City, but Pedro Neto, that cross was out of the pitch. Nunes is the man from Manchester City. Guardiola has to make those substitutions. Pedro Neto is up on there. They have got Christopher Nkunku as well. But it is the likes of Nunes who will be struggling because he is up for 80 minutes, dried up of his energy. Chelsea has won that corner. Cole Palmer, no, that corner was good, but denied. A throw coming in, that is from the opposite side of the corner. Chalobah, Enzo Fernandez, Palmer, but no, that was a missed pass. Good deflection from Kovacic. Colville has got Nkunku. Yes. Chelsea is trying to find those spaces time and again. And Nunes is that player who has to just stay deep. And now the citizens are playing that game which Chelsea were playing in the first half. They are just trying to find Erling Haaland on those long passes. Nunes getting that deflection, but straight to Palmer. Man, Palmer has a fall. It is Kovacic getting those bookings. John Brooks. Back to back, two big kings, that is Bernardo Silva and Kovacic, both of them getting those bookings on the pitch. That is a free kick. Chelsea has got a free kick, and that is on a dangerous spot. It is near the edge of the box. It is near the edge of the box. What is that in store for? Who is it going to take that free kick? Is it going to be Cole Palmer or is it going to be Enzo Fernandez? A left curler? Yes. Palmer takes it. Guardiola getting that interception good. It was for Christopher Nkunku. Get that clearance, boy. Guardiola to Gundogan. Gundogan has a fall. Oh my god, Gundogan is looking injured. Damn, hope this doesn't bring any kind of injuries for Guardiola's man. Miseries incoming if injuries are going to come. Thank God, Gundogan is back on his feet. Look at that pass which Ederson made to Haaland. Haaland was making those runs so good. And yes, he converted that goal so beautifully. It was the mistake which Sanchez made, and he made those runs. Sanchez just led to that advantage for Haaland so good, and he must have underestimated. 27 years of age, Robert Sanchez, the goalkeeper from Spain. Prior to this, he was at Brighton and Hove Albion. From their academy to Forest Green Rovers, back to Rochdale, and now at Chelsea. Where are the likes of the goalkeepers Peter Cech at Chelsea to be seen? They have got Philip Jorgensen, the man. Apart from that, Chelsea hasn't got any eminent goalkeepers to be have a watch. 85 minutes, still 5 minutes plus stoppage time left into it. Madueke, Chaloba, Colville, back passes going on the centre backs of Chelsea, but no way they are looking to crack away the tactical presence of Guardiola's men on the pitch. Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo finds Pedro Neto. What is that move? Pedro Neto is looking dangerous, moving inside the box. Man, look at that. Foden winning it and passing it good. De Bruyne. But no, Manchester City are not going for those counters. They are looking deep in their defense. Gundogan getting those interceptions, back passes to John Stones. Nathan Ake, back passes to Ederson. Ederson's left footers are really looking so good. De Bruyne, Haaland. Yes, it is Foden. Get that goal, boy. Foden is there on the box. Yes, that is the third goal. Foden has got it. And Chelsea just not tactically coping up with their high centre back lineup against Haaland, Foden, Marmoush, whatnot, Enzo Maresca, the assistant for Pep Guardiola. Chelsea losing it. Oh my god. Foden, what a class finish that was. Haaland, he will be the man of the match. That is the celebration from Foden. What a marvelous player. If Manchester City are going to get those momentum back, it is definitely but Chelsea in this game. They have just given it so cheap, not at all being that creative in the pitch of football. But look at that pass from Haaland. It was Colville who was just holding Haaland so tightly with his grip, but Haaland getting that pass to Foden was so clinical. Foden winning that run. Even Chalova makes a tackle, a push, but it is Foden getting those conversions. Big wins incoming for Pep Guardiola's man. Bring it, big boys! And that is the celebration from Foden. Big wins incoming. That is what is creativity known in the pitch of football. For the past 12 games, Chelsea hasn't managed to win a game against the Citizens. This is damn annoying. A record which Guardiola's men are now building up much high. 12 games, no win for Chelsea against Manchester City, either home or away. It was in the Champions League in the year 2021 under Thomas Tuchel. Chelsea has got those wins. Disappointments on the pitch. Enzo Maresca getting those tackles when 89 minutes on the pitch. Just 1 minute plus stoppage time, and now look at Guardiola. He is celebrating. I mean, the press conference where Guardiola would be just getting those nods, it will be much seen. Foden again, will he get those? Fourth goal incoming for Citizens, no denied. This City team is now looking good, coming back to their one of their best forms, but still on the defensive aspects, much to be done. Much to be done on the pitch. Christopher Nkunku making those runs. Passes to Caicedo. What is Caicedo trying to do? He has found Cucurella. Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto tries to change the wing. Yes, he has got Madueke. Madueke inside the box. But what was that first time shot from Madueke? The goal is on to your right side, boy, not on to your left. Madueke just managed to get a shot. Or was that for a header? Oh my god, what was Madueke trying it? I mean, he was just so fast over there and losing it completely. These are the characters, guys. You have to come big on the pitch. I mean, that will be a big booster for Guardiola's men on the pitch. And Citizens in this game will be really celebrating it good. Ederson getting those clearances. Yes, De Bruyne gets it good. Back passes to Gundogan. Guardiola. That is a block from Madueke. And yes, the Stamford Bridge is just sinking down, and down. That will be the song. Let Guardiola celebrate this win and come back in the rest of the season, because the upcoming fixtures, Guardiola is having huge clash going on. The likes of Tottenham, the likes of Liverpool, Manchester United, it is Nottingham Forest, they have got Aston Villa. Many of the matches, elite matches, are left. And with these defensive errors, then also Guardiola's men winning it big against Chelsea. That is something, a big disappointment. Now Kevin De Bruyne into the corners. The time waste management, 5 minutes of stoppage time. Now it is for Citizens to exploit the time and enjoy the game on their own half. Look at that. That was really something, a good performance which Guardiola has just converted it with his players, bringing in John Stones at the right moment. I mean, he should have brought in John Stones in the first half itself, but in the second half also he didn't went for those early substitutions. Rather, he waited for those 5 to 7 minutes, and then he substituted the new debut player on the pitch, that is Kusanov, relying on him, giving him those time. That is a good move. I mean, managers like Guardiola could afford to make those changes late and relying on those players. Every other manager on this world would have just substituted. There is two football on the pitch. What is that happening? John Brooks, the referee on pitch. What is he trying to just have? 95 minutes, 94 minutes to be precise on the pitch. Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto moving to the left wings, going for those cross, but Pedro Neto for today's game not looking best on his form, not getting those tactical abilities good. Neither his fluidity nor his runs. I mean, every player making those moves to Chelsea just lose their form so drastically. It is a big question on my mind for many years. I'm not getting those perfect answers on the pitch. That is some opportunity. Oh my god, Colville inside the pitch. That was a shot, but Colville is a defender. How can you afford to make him those shots are not that tactical which you can get from Colville. But still, no worries for the citizens because 95 minutes are up. 5 minutes of stoppage time is also up. And it is Manchester City 3 and Chelsea 1. Chelsea losing on their straight 12 games against Manchester City, not winning, just managing a few draws. And rest is the story for Enzo Maresca. It is Chelsea getting those last wins against Thomas Tuchel. And yes, the referee has blown the whistle. No scratching heads for Guardiola. And yes, Enzo Maresca is looking happy. Oh my god, was that game booked by Guardiola or not? It will be the much questions which will be raised. But no, in this game, Manchester City has proven again that they are one of the greatest threats of the Premier League again. That is all from my side, guys. That is all from my side. We had a long watch, and thank you for those who voted on it, that who are going to win today. Is it going to be the Blues and the old lady? Yes, there were votes. Is it going to be the Citizens and the Cucurelli? Yes, it was. Whether it was going to be a match that is going to be draw or not. But on the other hand, we were also having the watch along of Napoli and Juventus facing each other. It was Anguissa and a penalty from Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku, Antonio Conte has been developing him so good, whereas the debut performance of Colomwani from PSG under Thiago Motta's man got that sole goal. It is Juventus in the Serie A losing their first Serie A game. And in the table, if we talk about with this win of Napoli, Antonio Conte's man over Thiago Motta's Juventus, the Serie A table over here, Napoli at the top. 3 losses out of those 22 games played, 17 wins, 2 draws, 53 points, 15 goals conceded, 37 goals scored. Inter still 2 games behind, are 6 points. They both are drawing so close. Inter has to win the upcoming 2 games. 6 points they have to get to get past Napoli, because in the goal difference, Inter has got 33, whereas Napoli has got only 22. Atlanta 46, Lazio 39 points. Juventus, with this loss, have gone past Lazio 37 points. My God, this goodness in the Serie A. Juventus getting their first defeat out of their 22 games in the Serie A, and 8 wins and 13 draws. Thiago Motta getting those transfers, getting Colomoni on the pitch, but still not getting those wins which is required. Is the old lady is in the safe hands or not? That is the big question. And on the other hand, Manchester City and the likes of Chelsea, oh my God, that was a game which was something from the likes of Guardiola, Haaland, Foden scoring it so good, but Manchester City were struggling a bit in their defensive lineup in the first half. But upon the substitutions of Kusano, their debut player, it was the likes of John Stones coming onto the pitch. Everything went in so good, and upon the substitutions of Kevin De Bruyne also on the pitch, the team looked so stable. These are these few aspects which Guardiola has to make it, but at times he is not doing it. Rather than Chelsea making those sticky wicky passes, trying to get those cheap goals from the defensive mishaps of Manchester City, just could manage to get a single goal with the likes of Madioke. That was all up to it. And in the table of the Manchester City and Chelsea, the Premier League table stands over here. Liverpool far ahead in the 53 points. Only 21 goals conceded and 54 goals they have scored. I mean, all my predictions for Liverpool in this season has especially failed, because Liverpool, I thought that in the second half of the season they are going to drop few points, but no, this is not happening. And Arne Slot, or it is the Jurgen Klopp's team which Arne Slot is building up, are more into it. But Liverpool this season are really doing it so good. They are definitely the top most points holder in the table, and if they are going to win the Premier League this season with more than 100 points, I won't be much astonished, or there won't be much denying the fact from my side that they have done it so good. Arsenal dropping some points here and there, but winning this game tonight, I mean today against Wolves, 6 points behind Liverpool, but they have played a game more than Liverpool. No worries for Liverpool. So Liverpool, if we talk about the points, 9 points they are ahead. If we talk about the same games being played, Nottingham Forest today losing to Bournemouth, that was a big upset, 4-1. Nuno Santo must be worried. What is wrong with the Forest? Manchester City with this win now at the fourth spot. If Manchester City are going to play the Champions League next season or not was a big question that Pep Guardiola has definitely answered. But how high he can crawl up on the table, because Arsenal are 6 points ahead of City, Forest are 3 points ahead of City, whereas Newcastle 41 points, Chelsea dropping to the 6th spot. Europa League, or it is the Conference League which Chelsea has to play, that is something which is definitely going to be the answer which Chelsea under Enzo Maresca are going to get. But apart from this, there is also the watch of Real Madrid and Valladolid coming up late on the night. But guys, I don't think I have that much energy left in me to get those watch alongs for this game. I will watch this, and yes, a compiled video of what all watch alongs we had today. We will make a definite compiled video of it tomorrow morning. Real Madrid and Valladolid, as well as PSG and Reims. And apart from that, tomorrow the big matches which are upcoming is the likes of late night watch alongs. I mean, late at night it is Aston Villa against West Ham. And yes, on the Sunday nights, it is Fulham and Manchester United, as well as Barcelona and Valencia, which we will be having the watch as well. So yes, stay tuned to FC Ramsay, and yes, thank you for participating in those polls on the stream. Apart from that, I would like to just end this, and yes, citizens getting those wins, definitely a good one from them, and a good character need to be carried on for the rest of the season in the Premier League as well as in the Champions League. Kudos to all the citizens for getting these big wins. Stay tuned to FC Ramsay for all the updates about the different leagues across the globe. We have the different playlists of the Premier League, the La Liga, the Serie A, the Bundesliga, the Indian Super League, the League One as well. We are covering it all. And yes, do join our social media links, which are given in the channel description as well as in the video description. Bye guys, keep going. Keep the spread high, boys. Guardiola making it big. How big you can make it, boy.